we're going to do the experiment live here today. So let's clear that out of the way. There we go. Let's switch to my second camera. We're happy with that too. And let's get our materials that we need for today's experiment. So pretty easy experiment today, not a lot of materials. You need a jar. So you could use something like this mason jar, which I have used. You might have some science equipment. You might have a beaker or something that you can use in your classroom, but I just used a mason jar. And then I filled a little layer of the bottom with baking soda. So I'll just show that up there. So I've got that filled up with baking soda. You can see that there. Not a whole lot, just a little layer on the bottom. Then you're going to need a little bit of vinegar. So this is just white vinegar. I have it here in this little glass container. So I'm going to set that here. And then this is where you're going to need some help. If you do this in the classroom, you'll definitely want your teacher to do it, maybe at the front of the classroom to demonstrate. Or if you're doing it at home, you'll want some help from mom and dad, because we need 4 of these little candles. You might use bigger candles. You might have something in the classroom or at home that you can use. But I have these little tea lights here, so they're not very big. But that's what I'm going to use for today. I am going to use this handy dandy barbecue lighter. And I'm going to light these 4 candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to do today is I'm going to extinguish these candles. I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to put anything on them. I'm not going to blow on them. But in a moment, like magic, these 4 candles are going to be extinguished. So to do that, I'm going to take my mason jar. And I'm going to pour the vinegar in. Now watch what happens when I pour the vinegar in. We get a nice reaction happening there, fizzing up. Now I'm going to take it and I'm just going to not pour it, but I'm just going to run it over the candles. Nothing's coming out from it. I'm not pouring anything. But look at that. All 4 candles have extinguished themselves. I didn't blow on them. I didn't touch them. But something happened there, some kind of reaction. So that is your experiment over the next 2 weeks to try this in the classroom with your teacher, or maybe try it at home with mom and dad. You can see the supplies here. We don't need a whole lot of supplies to be able to do this experiment. So I want to see your photos if you try this at home in the classroom. Send them to classroom at darwin200.com and we'll have some prizes for some classrooms that do send in some photos. So classroom at darwin200.com, give this experiment a try. And if you want, you can add a little note what you think happened. And in 2 weeks from now, we will explain the results and we will share just what happened in this experiment.